Ready? Play.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're coming to us from, and welcome to this Montpellier final as a title and a trophy is on the line as we get set to watch the final in Montpellier between Borna Coric and Alexander Bublik. Glad to have you along for the ride on this Sunday. I'm Matthew Owens, and be sure to like and subscribe to Talking Tennis as always. And we are just about ready to go. The players are warming up, and we are excited for what should be a very interesting final. Alexander Bublik looking to take this title for the second time. He won here in Montpellier in 2022, beating Alexander Zverev in that final a couple of years ago, as he takes on Borna Coric, who had that magical run to the title in Cincinnati 2 years ago. That feels like a long time ago for Coric, who came into this tournament seeded fourth and ranked 37th in the world. Yesterday, making it to the final, playing Holger Rune, who had to retire. And for Bublik, the number 2 seed here in this tournament, yesterday in the semifinal, beating Felix Auger-Aliassime in a 2.5-hour three-setter. Dropped the first set to the Canadian, won the last two sets 6-4 and 6-4. So, ready to go, just about ready to go. Players are just about finished warming up as we get set for this final here in Montpellier, which we're excited about. I'm super excited about to do a ATP Tour match. And we have the players at their chairs getting set to come out here. Bublik has won his last 2 finals that he's played in. Both were last year, one in Halle, also won the European Open in Belgium. One of those was a grass court title, the other was a hard court title. Beat Andrei Rublev in the Halle final last year. Coric mentioned that Cincinnati title from a couple of years ago, the highlight of his career. And it is Bublik who will serve first to start this final in Montpellier. We're underway as he makes the serve up the tee. Getting it back was Coric, who puts up a lob, and that is long, and that's the way this one gets started as we are underway with Bublik Love 15. So, see how this final goes as Bublik serves up the tee and misses. There was a graphics error there, sorry. Had Coric serving, so they get that away. Thank you. Bublik serving. Coric makes the return. Bublik with a big forehand up the middle, and into the net goes Coric. Mentioned Bublik getting that win over Auger-Aliassime yesterday in the semifinals. Beat a fellow countryman, Alexander Shevchenko, in the quarters. The far end, Bublik serves out wide. Coric blocks the return back. Cross court the backhand, Bublik, and it's sawed long by Coric, and it's quickly 40 love here to Bublik. And game points for him here. At the far end, serving ball toss. Serve is into the net. Coric beat Flavio Cabali in the quarterfinals. Cabali put on a heck of a show this week here. Kicks second serve is in. Coric with a backhand reply. Slice by Bublik, and into the net goes Coric. So a hold it love to start this final. Bublik with a very comfortable hold to begin. So this has been fun to watch throughout the week. I mentioned the run that Cabali went on, which mystified a lot of people. He came from a set down to beat Gael Monfils in the round of 32, first round. Then in the second round, he beat a Frenchman 6-4 and 6-1. Lost to Coric in the quarterfinals, however, Cabali did. Watch out for him. as we go on. Could be a fun name to watch out for in the future. Andy Murray was here. He lost in the first round to Benoit Paire. So here is Coric serving for the first time after the change of ends. And serves up the tee. Bublik makes the return. Forehand up the middle from Coric. Cross court goes Bublik to the forehand of Coric that clipped the let cord. Forehand by Bublik. Up the middle goes Coric. Off backhand by Bublik. Cross court the forehand Coric. Off forehand from Bublik. Two-handed backhand cross court by Coric. Made it just in. Then he loops it back long on the forehand side. And Coric is yet to win a point. First 5 have gone to Bublik. 3-6 in his career in ATP finals. Alexander Bublik mentioned he's won his last 2. And the other one that he won was right here, as I mentioned a couple of years ago, beating Zverev in the final. Coric serves out wide, misses. Again, just looking to win a point here is Coric. Second serve kicks in. Bublik picks it up on the backhand, sends it deep to the backhand of Coric. Sliced up the line by Bublik. Coric picks it up and misses the forehand cross court. And it's love 30 here, and Bublik has already half a look at an early break here against the Coric serve. Some nervy moments right out of the gate here for Borna Coric. See if he can fight back from love 30. Serves out wide. That's a great serve. It's an ace. So there's his first point as he was able to slide one in out wide. Maybe that'll get him settled down a little bit. Hopefully it will. Hoping for an entertaining final here in Montpellier today. Haven't had a lot of luck lately getting a lot of tight matches when I'm on here, except for Swiatek and Collins. The Australian Open, return blocked back by Bublik to the forehand of Coric, loop back by Bublik, forehand up the middle by Coric to the cross-court forehand of Bublik. Coric steers it back, forehand from Bublik, cross-court goes Coric with an angle, forehand by Bublik, another cross-court forehand by Coric, up the line goes Bublik to the backhand of Coric, cross-court goes Bublik, that backhand was just good, now he sets up a forehand deep up the line, misses long. And it's 30 all. That was a lengthy rally. We could see a lot of lengthy rallies today between these two. Of course, if you give the edge to anyone in lengthy rallies, you would think a slight edge to Bublik. Missed that one, though, long on the forehand wing. 30 all. 2 straight points here for Coric after falling behind love 30. At the far end, toss-up, serve down, out wide, misses long. Bublik with a disappointing early exit in the Australian Open. Coric serves out wide. Bublik lines up a forehand return. Up the middle goes Coric to the two-handed backhand straight up the gut by Bublik. Now he goes cross-court to forehand. Off forehand up the line by Coric to the backhand of Bublik. Coric is able to direct one up the line. Cross-court goes Bublik to the Coric forehand. Big forehand unleashed up the line. A winner from Bublik. And he's got a break point. So he's able to crack that forehand up the line into the ad court. And the first break point of the match belongs to Bublik here. Coric has to fend one off early. See if he's able to. Serve is off the let cord. Try that again. Facing break point. Toss up, serve down, out wide. Bublik lines it up on the backhand. Off forehand from Coric. Cross court goes Bublik. Up the middle goes Coric with the backhand. It's a slice backhand from Bublik. Slice back by Coric up the line. Bublik picks it up. Cross court, another slicing backhand from Coric. Clip the let cord. Backhand by Bublik. Cross court goes Coric up the middle. Bublik now a looping forehand up the line by Coric. Up the line goes Bublik with a forehand. Coric able to direct that back. Now goes cross court on the forehand. Squash shot forehand by Bublik coming in. Coric makes the cross court shot at the net. Bublik gets back and then Coric tries to pass him with a cross-court backhand, and it's wide. And Bublik has claimed the break right away. After a hold at love, he's able to get the break, and it's 2-0 out of the gates to Bublik. Mentioned that early exit at the Australian Open, which was so upsetting as he lost to Nagal, the Indian qualifier, in straight sets in the first round in Melbourne. Looking for a title very next time out. He is up 2-love. And serving here at the near end. Goes out wide and misses. Second serve. It's in. Nice flat serve to the backhand of Coric, who now directs it cross court, and into the net goes Bublik. Bublik, a lot of people waiting for him to really break out big on a major stage, on a big stage. He was seeded 31st at the Australian Open when he lost that first rounder. Big serve out wide there, but it just missed. It looked good to me. Serves up the tee here. Coric with a short ball back. Cross court, the forehand Bublik, who comes to the net. And a short ball back by Coric that Bublik's able to take out of the air and smash it down. 15 all. Bublik, in fact, mentioned that early exit at the Australian Open. He can be a very up and down, streaky player, as we know. Serves up the tee and pounds out an ace, 30-15. He has now exited in the first round in 4 of the last 5 majors that he's played in, making a 4th round run at Wimbledon last year. It's fun to watch, though, at the very least. For us, serves out wide. Coric blocks it back. Cross-court the forehand Bublik. Put Coric on the run to hit an off forehand. Cross-court the forehand from Bublik. Squash shotted back by Coric, and Bublik unable to pick that up. Makes the error on the forehand wide, and it's 30 all. So Coric getting into this return game down an early break. See if he can capitalize on this opportunity. Here's Bublik. 30-all serve out wide. That's an ace. Totally off-footed Coric, who is moving from his right to his left. The serve kicks out wide. No chance at getting any part of the racket on that, and it is 40-30, and Bublik's got a game point here for 3-love. Croatian needing to make a good return here to keep from going 3-love down. Bublik serves up the tee, and that's a let. It kicked off the tape and awkwardly bounced towards Coric. Still first serve. And Bublik. Toss up, serve down, out wide, and he's able to pound out another ace. So it's a perfect start for Bublik. 3-love up with 2 holds and a break sandwiched in the middle. So a 3-love start for Alexander Bublik, as they'll change ends. And we'll keep it right here and hope everyone has had a good weekend, and hope everyone joining us here will hit the like and subscribe button as always. Borna Coric feels like he's been around for a long time. He's only 27, though. But it does feel like he has been around for a long, long time. And hopefully he can get back into this match. Obviously, it's very early. Mention the title that he won in 2022 in Cincinnati. And again, just what a surprise run that was to that title. He got in because of a protected ranking, is how he got into the tournament, and then just stunned everyone as he went on that magical run to the title. Beat some big names, of course, as you have to win in Cincinnati. Beat Oje Aliassime in the quarters, beat Cam Nori in the semis, beat Tsitsipas, blew away Tsitsipas, really, in the final. First set went to a tiebreak, but he won the tiebreak 7-0, and then he won the second set 6-2 in a tournament where Daniil Medvedev was the top seed. Nadal was seeded second as Coric serves out wide. Bublik can't make the return. It's into the net. And it's 15-love. Did not have Djokovic there. But Medvedev was the top seed. Nadal was the number 2 seed in that tournament. Coric beat him in the second round. Coric had to play a first-round match, won that. Then upset Nadal in the second round in 3 sets. And that's what started the magic carpet ride that Coric went on towards that title. Serves up the tee. Bublik blocks it back, but it missed, the serve did. $15-love. And Coric, toss up, serve down, body serve to the backhand of Bublik, forehand up the middle by Coric, yanked back cross court by Bublik, up the line Coric, cross court the backhand, Bublik was good, sliding it back is Coric, drop shot from Bublik, drifts wide. He likes to pull that out at very interesting moments, does Bublik. That one just missed, and it wasn't the best drop shot. Coric was going to get there anyway, but it misses the line, and it's 30-love as Coric looks to get on the board here. That win in Cincinnati by Coric, his first title in 4 years. Serves up the tee and misses. Had not won a title since Halle in 2018. He came into that tournament ranked 152nd in the world. Kicks that serve in. Bublik's return is rifled long, and it's 40-love. He had, when he won that tournament, ranked 152nd. He became the lowest ranked player to win a Masters event in the history of the Masters event since it became in 1990. Serve out wide was good. Bublik with a short ball back up the line. Coric comes to the net. Oh, Bublik passes him as he cracks a cross-court forehand winner. Coric came to the net confidently, and Bublik swats a winner away. Still gain points at 40-15 here for Coric. Two bounces of the ball. Toss up. Serve is down up the tee. Bublik makes the return short. Forehand up the middle from Coric. Didn't do a lot with that, but Bublik makes the error as he tried to go cross court on the forehand. So Coric holds and is on the board 3-1 down a break. Meanwhile, I can tell you that the final in Linz has been completed. Yelena Ostapenko winning it in just over an hour, 6-2 and 6-3 over Alexandrova. So Ostapenko, the title in Linz that just finished up not too long ago as Bublik serves into the net. Up a break at 3-1. Second serve, Bublik is in. Coric makes the return off backhand. Short ball back by Bublik. Off forehand from Coric. Comes to the net. A lob thrown up by Bublik. It's going to drop out long. And Coric is getting his feet into this match. It was a very flat start as take a look at Ostapenko there. And that was a hard-worked title for Ostapenko. Bublik makes the serve. Return is blocked back by Coric. Oh, wow. And Bublik makes the error up the line on the forehand. Mention how streaky of a player he can be. Just confirmed that that did drop out on the key contact point. Love 30. Bublik in some trouble here for the first time on serve. Out wide he goes. Coric with the return, and he lasers that one long, 15-30. Sport and politics with us here. Glad to have you with us as the serve up the tee is blocked back by Coric and it goes long. 30 all. It was definitely a terrific run by Coric. And you're right, he has suffered a lot of injuries, no doubt about that. This would be his first title since that Cincinnati tournament in 22. Bublik serves into the net, 30 all, up 3-1 in this opening set. In just the second meeting ever between these two, Bublik with a serve up the tee. Coric puts the return long, and it's 40-30. Mentioned that Hala title that Bublik won last year. He had beaten Coric in that tournament, the only time that they have met. Bublik serves out wide. Coric with the return into the net. So Bublik holds for 4-1. And still up a break in this first set as he looks to take the early lead here. It's very strange for me on a personal level to be calling a men's match that's best of 3. I can't say that I've done that in years upon years. But as I said earlier, very excited to be doing some more tour level events this year, both here with the wonderful folks at Talking Tennis and that's very good. I was just looking over here to the comments, and thankfully, Manchester United ahead 1-0. Thank goodness. Hoyland getting another goal. We were talking earlier, Sean and I, about Manchester United. We're very much struggling as fans of Manchester United here lately. Do you know Luton have scored more goals in the Premier League this year than Manchester United? How is that possible? I mean, if that doesn't depress you as a Manchester United fan, I don't know what will. Luton have been a terrific story. What a game they played against Newcastle earlier in the week, 4-4. Playing a lot of games like that. I think a lot of people thought Luton were just going to park the bus and try to 0-0 everyone to death, but winning and getting results out of a lot of high-scoring games. Meanwhile, here is Coric, set to serve after the change of ends. Down to break 1-4. At the far end, serves up the tee. Bublik makes the return short. Coric to the net with a drop shot that Bublik gets to. Goes cross-court on the forehand. Coric puts it up to the net. Bublik hits a volley and then goes all the way outside of the doubles alley for some unknown reason. Coric puts that away. I don't know where he was going. He's a very eccentric player, Bublik. 15 love. Coric with the toss-up, serve down, misses the tee. Park the bus, one of the favorite phrases. Yes, mine as well. Using it over here in America, a lot of people don't know what in the wide world of sports I'm talking about. Coric serves out wide. Bublik has time to set up the backhand, return deep. Bublik with the backhand up the middle, sliced up the line by Bublik, picked up but put into the net by Coric. Eccentric and understatement. Yeah, it is. I mean, he's kind of the ilk of being an entertainer, isn't he? I mean, he doesn't go. I guess he doesn't go fully like Monfils does or has, but he does like to entertain. Something to be said about players like that. 15 all. Coric serves, body serve, backhand reply by Bublik deep. Now he slices one up the line. Coric picks it up, goes cross court on the forehand of Bublik. Up the line goes Coric. Bublik lines up a backhand up the middle. Cross court the forehand. Coric into a rally here. Bublik deep forehand. Coric able to bat it back. Cross court the forehand by Bublik. Slice back by Coric. Bublik pulls out a drop shot at a very peculiar time. Coric gets to it but rakes it wide. And it's 15-30. I can say this for sure. With players that like to kind of get into the entertainment of the sport, I've been in Winston-Salem when Gael Monfils has been there. People flock to him. And again, I don't know how many people in Winston-Salem, North Carolina know much about tennis or Gael Monfils, but they flock to him just because of the energy that he gives off and this just fun persona. First serve misses from Coric. 1-4 and 15-30 down here. Toss up, serve down. Bublik standing well beyond the baseline to hit the forehand up the line. Cross court by Coric at an angle to the forehand of Bublik. Cross court the forehand. Misses from Coric, and he slammed the racket down as he makes the error. He has absolutely obliterated a racket, and then he spikes it into the floor again. Wow. Wanted to get his money's worth on that, as that racket has disintegrated in his hands. So he's made the error on the backhand and then absolutely destroyed a racket twice. He wanted to make sure it was broken. Snapped. Erased. He's facing 2 break points as he tries to calm himself. And with a new racket, tightly strung strings, I think he's a bit tightly strung here. 2 break points for Bublik to really take command of the set. Coric serves into the net. Second serve here from Coric. Toss up, serve down, out wide. Bublik makes the return deep with the forehand. Cross court the forehand off the tape by Coric just in. Slicing backhand up the line from Bublik, missed. It's wide. Coric able to fend off a break point. Got just a slight edge to Bublik in our poll. Who's going to win? 53% says Bublik. 47% to Coric. Right now, Bublik with the edge for sure. Coric still down a break point. Serves hard into the middle of the net. Now Bublik comes towards the baseline for this second serve, looking to attack. Try to go up a double break. Kicks it in. Coric. Backhand reply. Bublik, who's on the move to hit a forehand. Cross court the forehand by Coric. Pushed on back up the line by Bublik. Oh, big backhand by Coric. Bublik defends it back. Now a big forehand by Coric. Bublik tries to pass Coric, who comes to the net. And Coric hits a winning volley. That's a well-constructed point there by Coric. Bublik was on the move. East-west, and then eventually had to come in to try to get to the drop shot. Coric is able to put it away, and it is deuce. So 2 break points saved after the smashing of the racket. Now first serve at deuce at the far end. Coric serves again into the net. Bublik, I mean, he is standing multiple yards beyond the baseline, multiple meters for the first serves. Then he comes in on the second most of the time, but he stands back here to hit a forehand on the return. Up the line, Coric with the forehand. Cross-court backhand from Bublik. Coric keeps it central to the backhand of Bublik. Up the line now goes Coric, and Bublik's into the net. And Coric is a bit angrily and frustratingly talking back to his box. He's still not pleased with the way he's playing. Has a game point, however, from 15-40, now has advantage here to try to stay within one break, but he's obviously frustrated. A bit perturbed. Game point. Coric serves up the tee, and Bublik unable to make the return. So that's a good fight back from Coric there after he, destroyed a racket that will never see the light of day again. He's able to come back, fend off 2 break points, and then hold. So Bublik will serve at 4-2 as we're 27 minutes into this Montpellier final. Bublik trying to win this title for the second time. And serving here at 4-2. High ball toss, serve down, out wide, misses. We do have lines people here, by the way. None of the automatic calls. And Bublik's second serve never made it close to getting over the net, and it's a double fault thrown in by Bublik. Has stood firm on serve so far. Serve up the tee. Coric throws himself into the return. Forehand by Bublik comes to the net. Half volley pickup is not there. But Coric with a very sharp forehand right up the middle as Bublik was trying to come in. He had only made it to the service tee. And that was an awkward shot that he had to try to pick up and could not do it. It's love 30. Bublik serves into the net. This seems to be the moment now for Coric. That little temper tantrum has fired him up for sure. Serve up the tee. Coric can't make the return. It's long on the backhand. I think Coric wanted a challenge. He looked up towards the umpire and threw his arm up. And it was in. Well, that won't do much to calm him down, missing that challenge by that sliver of the ball on the line. So here's Bublik at 15-30. Toss up, serve down, out wide. It misses there. Bublik serving 4-2, as you see. Serves out wide again. Coric makes the return. Bublik backpedals, and slices a backhand into the net. And Coric has his first break points of this match to try to get back on serve. Bublik serving 15-40. Serves up the tee. Coric gets the frame of the racket to it. It goes sky high, drops in. Bublik an overhead up the middle. Coric slices it back. Now a drop shot from Bublik. Coric charges to it. Bublik's at the net to hit a volley. Coric now throws up a lob. Bublik with an overhead wildly hit just in. Now it's a baseline to baseline rally. Big backhand Coric who comes to the net. Now he hits a volley up the line. Bublik stretches out, hits the forehand into the net. What a rally. And Coric is broken. Well, that is just an insane rally. But Coric able to win it and get the break back. And on a half hour, we're back on serve here as Coric peels a banana by his chair. As it is 3-4. Well, that was an insane rally. And the return by Coric was hit to the heavens. And he was so fortunate that it landed in. And then, of course, it bounced so high, Bublik couldn't get a lot on the overhead. But then we just went insane through the rest of the rally. Coric hit a good lob. Wow. So we're back on serve in a very strange way. There you see the tweet from Greg. It was a spectacular racket smash. Absolutely was. Oh, yes, there's evidence of it. There we go. Yeah, I mean, it was done on first contact. He made no mistake on the smashing of the racket. What he intended to do, he did. So after the change of ends and a change of shirt for Coric, he is back on serve here. And he'll serve at 3-4 in this opening set that has gone now just north of half an hour. So here's Coric at the near end, serving out wide. A kicker misses. Now after getting that break back, saving break points to hold for 4-2, then breaking for 4-3. See what he does here now. Second serve is in. Bublik lines up the return. Forehand by Coric. Cross court goes Bublik with the forehand. Coric steers it back cross court. So too does Bublik. Forehand gets away there from Coric and misses it long. Now he's walking back over to the chair. Does he want yet another racket, Coric? I think he does. Unzips the bag, pulls another racket out. He didn't disintegrate this one. Just goes and gets another racket, Coric. So he's on his third racket of the set. And now picks out a ball that he likes. And at love 15, he'll serve. Toss up, serve down, into the bottom of the net. Well, that wasn't the best first strike with that new racket. Second serve. Coric puts it in. Bublik waits to hit an off forehand to the backhand of Coric. Bublik across court backhand. Coric directs it into the middle. Sliced into the net from Bublik. He hasn't gotten a lot of production from that sliced backhand so far. It's 15 all. Coric wipes face with the towel. Has worked his way right back into this first set after a very poor start. Bublik won the first 6 points of the match. Out wide, the serve is in. Bublik gets it back. Coric races to the net to hit a winning volley. He was in there like a shot. Puts away the volley for 30-15. Knew exactly what he was going to do there and executed it well. It's a really big serve out wide. Little serve and volley there from the Croatian. We don't see that very much anymore, do we? Coric serves up the tee. He's going to come to the net here. Oh, but he staked the volley into the net. It's a good serve up the tee to come in on. Last time he went out wide, got to the net easily to put away the volley. That one up the tee, and it hung up for him. That should have been put away. Just touched it into the net. So it's 30 all. Bublik in this return game for sure. Coric, dribble after dribble of the ball. Now he's set for the serve. Puts it into the backhand of Bublik. Stays at the baseline this time. Coric hit a backhand. So too does Bublik. Up the line goes Coric. Now he comes to the net. Has to pick up that volley. It hangs up. Oh, for Bublik to smash his backhand into the net. Had opened up for Bublik to hit a passing shot winner. But he has put that into the net. Coric gets away from one there. He's actively coming to the net now. Coric is. That was a tough pickup. It was dipping quickly on him. And Bublik has to be frustrated with that missed backhand because a window had opened up to hit a passing shot. Now Coric with a game point at 40-30 to get us at 4 all. Serves up the tee, comes to the net. Bublik makes the return. Coric with a volley. Bublik this time does pass him. Backhand straight as an arrow up the line. There's a fist pump from Bublik. Shouts out to himself. He knows he should have hit the winner on the last shot with Coric at the net, but he does here, and it's deuce. But Coric is absolutely racing to the net here in this game. Left a lot of the line open that time for Bublik. It's deuce. Coric serves out wide, a kicker that Bublik's unable to get back. That's a really good serve there. That would have been another good one to come in on. Didn't look like he was going to. Didn't have to in the end. I think we just had a challenge from Bublik, however. That was way, way, way inside. It was not even on the line. It was inside the line. That wasn't a great moment for Bublik to think that that was anywhere close to out. Here's Coric now. Game point again for 4-all. Serves up the tee. Bublik blocks it back. Coric stays at the baseline, hits an off forehand. Bublik with the backhand up the middle. Coric, two-handed backhand. Sliced up the line now by Bublik deep. Coric picks it up, cross-court the forehand. Now going big, and into the net goes Bublik. And Coric is held. He's won 3 games in a row, and it's 4-all. It's a good fight back here from Coric. Seeded 4th in this tournament. And now at 4-all in the first set of this final. And for Bublik, have to regather here as he had a very comfortable lead at 4-1 that has gotten away from him here. Serve out wide, Bublik. Oh, Coric with a great return at the net. Bublik picks up a volley somehow. Then Coric throws up a lob, and it's down behind Bublik for a lob winner. Oh, my goodness. And all of a sudden, Coric is hitting everything. Love 15 off the lob winner. Coric fired up now. Bublik serves, body serve. Coric awkwardly gets it back, and then Bublik hits a forehand winner cross court into the deuce court. That was well done. Mentioned Coric was ranked outside the top 150 when he won that title in Cincinnati 2 years ago. He has rallied back, and he's into the top 40. Serve out wide. Coric the return. Bublik forehand up the middle. Cross court goes Coric up the line. Bublik big forehand. Sliced back by Coric defensively. Backhand by Bublik. Steered cross court by Coric. Directed with the forehand by Bublik, who now goes into the nets on the backhand. And Coric, well, the script has been totally flipped now because now it's Bublik going over to his box, talking to himself, talking to the box, frustrated. These two players are separated by 10 spots in the rankings. Bublik with a big serve up the tee is an ace. He let out the frustration on that one. It's 30-all, still talking to himself as he walks back to the service line. Absolutely, positively nothing that Coric was going to do with that serve. 4-all, 30-all, dead even midway, just past the midway point of this first set. Serve out wide, another ace from Bublik, 2 in a row. Now a game point for 5-4 to stop this run that Coric is on. Has won 3 straight games here, Coric has. Bublik out wide. How about that? 3 straight aces. Kaboom. And it's 5-4 as Bublik holds after he had worked himself up. He had gotten frustrated. 5-4 now, and at the business end of this first set. That's 6 aces now in the set from Bublik. 3 in a row right there. Now it's up to Coric again to try to respond. More people coming in and more people voting, which is terrific to see. Bublik now with a 65% spot on the poll that's in there. Yeah, and you're absolutely right. Sport and politics in the comments. Bublik did well there to stop that run. Came out big, serving 3 consecutive aces. So we're at 5-4, changing ends. Coric serving to stay in the set, in which he was down at 1.41, but now has gotten back on serve. And they will. Bublik came. He had gotten up off the chair very quickly. Coric taking all of his time to get back onto the court as he gets set to serve at 4-5. Coric struggling to get some first serves in at times. Now at 57%. First serves dropping in. Needs to hold here to stay in the set. Serves up the tee. It's a good one. Bublik with a short ball bat. Coric lets it bounce, steps up into it, and calmly hits a forehand winner off footing. Bublik. 15 love. Coric with 3 titles in his career. Looking for a 4th here, just as Bublik is, as the serve up the tee misses there from Coric. Mentioned earlier that Bublik 3-6 in his career in finals, but has won his last 2. Serve out to the backhand of Bublik, cross court. Coric with the backhand. Now the backhand cross court from Bublik. Up the middle goes Coric. Slicing forehand from Bublik that Coric digs out. Now up the line goes Bublik to the forehand of Coric, cross court. Forehand by Bublik. Up the line goes Coric. Bublik lines up a backhand, two-handed. Cross court, the forehand Coric was nice and deep. Off the laces. It's thrown long by Bublik. And it's 30 love here for Coric. Coric at 30 love, 2 points away here from getting back level at 5-all. Serve is out wide. Bublik hits a good return. Coric to the net. Half volley pickup into the net. So again, Coric coming to the net a lot, especially when he can serve in the deuce court out wide. Bublik made a good return, however. 30-15. Coric still in command of this game. Serves at the far end. Tosses up, serve down, out wide, missed the mark. As we're at 45 minutes in this first set. Second serve, Coric. Puts it in. Bublik sets up a backhand deep. Forehand up the line, Coric. Bublik cross court a forehand. To the line, just in. Coric with a forehand. Cross court, Bublik. Steered back by Coric, but he missed it long, and it's 30-all now. Just walking over to the towel here, Coric has already gotten riled up once in this set. Now facing a pressure point here. 4-5, 30-all. And Bublik now 2 points from the set. Coric needs to come up with a big serve right here. Let's see if he can. Serve out wide. Bublik makes the return. Coric the cross-court forehand. Bublik able to redirect it up the middle. Cross-court goes Coric. Up the line, Bublik. Coric with a two-handed backhand. Oh, and into the net goes Bublik. That was a neutralized point. Bublik makes the error and gives Coric a game point for 5-all. That was a big point right there. And it was pretty well neutralized. And it's the error by Bublik. Coric at game point. Ooh, serve out wide. I think it was called out. Without hearing it in my ear, I think it was called out, but Coric is challenging. And, oh, that's on the line. I just caught the line on the back end. So that's an ace for Coric, his third of the match. And he has held for 5-all. Did not catch much of the line. Certainly can't blame a linesperson for calling that out, but it did catch. 5-all. And Bublik serving up the team. Whoa, misses. And then Coric got the frame of the racket to it, and it flies into row 3. Bublik's ready to serve and does quickly. Coric backhand return. Bublik the forehand. Cross court Coric. Bublik across court forehand up the line. Coric hits a great forehand. Bublik on the stretch. Lobs it back. And Coric smashes it down for a winner. Love 15. Wow. Let's see. Sport and politics. If there is one player who has retired who you would love to see play one more, who would it be? That's a very good question. I will think about that. The easy answer for me would be Maria Sharapova because I was just such a huge Sharapova fan. But with that said, I got to enjoy watching Sharapova for years upon years. Serve out wide by Bublik. Coric did not make the return, but serve was not in either. Bublik was coming to the net. Second serve is in. Coric makes the return with the backhand. Up the middle, Bublik. Cross court, the forehand up the line by Coric. Ooh, and then Bublik swats a backhand wide. Oh, my goodness. Coric, love 30 now. I got to think about that question because there's a lot of really terrific players that I did not get to see in my lifetime or was too young to watch. I'm going to think about that. In the meantime, love 30. Big points coming up here. Bublik has missed the first serve. He's put that into the net. Coric is starting to wrangle momentum in his corner. He makes the return. Bublik a big forehand. Looped back by Coric. Oh, Bublik's come up with a drop shot. He comes to the net. Coric gets to that. Now Bublik hits a volley to the baseline. Coric has reversed to get to it. Now he throws up a lob. He's already hit one lob winner, but this one's long. Rallies between these two have gotten weird a couple of times in this first set. That's a big point, though, for Bublik to win. 5-all, 15-30. Bublik having to fend off a real comeback from Coric, who trailed in this set 1-4. Deep serve from Bublik. It's too deep. Now, and again, he was coming to the net. So now both of these players are taking their opportunities to hit a big serve and race to the net. Here's the second serve. Oh, boy, it's off the let cord, and it lands out. It's a double fault from Bublik. And Coric with 2 break points to take a 6-5 lead. Don't know if anyone saw this with Bublik 4-1 up. He serves. Coric can't make the return. The backhand flies wildly into the tram lines. 30-40. 1 break point saved by Bublik. Has to save one more here. Will he come to the net? Serve is out wide. Coric makes the return. Bublik did not come to the net, and he's hit the forehand into the net. And Coric has claimed the break. He's come all the way back here. Fist pump from Coric. They'll change ends. And for Borna, Coric 1-4 down in this first set. He has roared back to take a 6-5 lead, and he will serve for the opening set here after they change sides. Wow. Okay, so what retired player would I like to see come back? Pete Sampras, I think, would be towards the top of that list because I was too young at the end of his career to have ever really consciously watched Pete Sampras. And of course, for the longest time, we thought Pete Sampras was never going to be caught. And it turned out 3 players in the same era not only caught him, but raced by him and He's so far behind in the rearview mirror, it's not even funny. But, of course, he was just a magician at Wimbledon, great at the U.S. Open, especially in the early to mid 90s. 14 Grand Slam titles. And like I said, it just kind of felt like that was never going to be caught. And then all of a sudden, here came these three maestros and just blew right by him. Players back on court, and Coric serving for the set 6-5 out wide. Bublik makes the return up the middle. Coric with a forehand. Bublik defensively well beyond the baseline to the backhand. Coric goes cross court. Backhand from Bublik. Cross court from Coric up the line, but long from Bublik. This first set has gotten away from him in a major way. Coric absolutely cracked a racket down on the ground twice. Ever since the racket smash, he's been the better player. Remember, he had to save break points to keep from being 5-1 down. Serve up the tee. Bublik makes the return. It floats back to the forehand of Coric. Up the line, Bublik. Coric a backhand up the middle. Slice backhand from Bublik. Coric picks it up to the baseline. Just in. Bublik a backhand to the backhand of Coric. It's right up the middle this rally. Now at an angle, a backhand from Bublik. Coric cross court. Bublik a backhand. Coric off backhand. Drifts wide. 15 all. All the longer rallies there. 15 all. Coric serving for this first set at 6-5. Bublik looking for some answers here. He had all the answers to the Coric questions early in this set. Coric serves out wide. Bublik's return is in. Short. Forehand up the line. Coric, he was coming to the net. Doesn't have to hit a volley, though, as he hit a good backhand that Bublik could only get the frame of the racket to. 15 all. Coric disposing of a couple of balls. Now picks out one that he likes. And here he is, 15 all. Serve up the tee. Oh, did that catch the line? Certainly looked like it did. It's an ace for Coric, his fourth. Bublik did not throw up a hand in challenge. Fourth ace of the set for Coric. 2 points from the set. Serves here, up the tee, misses. Closing in now. Coric serves. Bublik makes the return. Coric with a forehand up the middle. Bublik cross court. Coric with a forehand. Bublik steers a big forehand. Oh, cross court, and Coric blocked it back into the net. Coric stays composed. Another set point here. 40-30. Another chance to wrap up the set. Coric serves out wide. Bublik makes the return. Coric goes big, but yanks the forehand wide. Oh, my goodness. That's 2 set points that Bublik saves. Now deuce. And Bublik is very well in this return game to try to force a tiebreak. So we close in on an hour in the set. Business end of it here. Coric 2 points from claiming it. Bublik 2 points from forcing a tiebreak. Coric serves up the tee. It misses. Coric regathers a ball. Second serve at deuce. Toss up, serve down. Bublik waits to hit a long forehand deep. Forehand from Coric to the backhand of Bublik. Cross court goes Coric. Bublik with the backhand. Coric has rifled a backhand up the line. Bublik on the stretch gets it back. It's a big, high, long volley or a lob rather, that Coric puts away. And Coric has another set point. He anchors away on that shot up the line. Another set point for Coric. Bublik has saved 2 in this game. Is this the moment for Coric? Serve clock at 3 as he serves out wide. It's a terrific serve. Bublik's return lands well wide, and Coric has come from 4 games to 1 down in the first set to claim it 7-5. What a comeback in the first set from Borna Coric. He's a set away from his first title in a year and a half. We'll take a quick break, come back for the second set, see if Bublik has a comeback in him. He's down a set in Montpellier.
Thanks for tuning into this watch along. While there's a break in play, here's a reminder to hit the like button, subscribe, and click that notification bell. Your support helps to keep the channel going. While we're here, you can now become a member to enjoy perks including badges for the live chat, but also bonus material such as interviews with top players from both ATP and WTA tours. The membership link is pinned in the live chat. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. So whether it be serves or volleys, forehands or backhands, serve bots or drop shots, we've got you covered, whether that be via our website, talking-tennis.com, where you can read features and interviews from our top writers. Or if you prefer us in audio form, you can subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Amazon or Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts from. Remember, we offer you wall-to-wall coverage via our regular watch-alongs, magazine shows such as Nick's WTA Weekly or Damien and Mario's ATP version. Plus, we deliver top content from people on the ground, actually at the tournaments, so you get even nearer to the action. So, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
First set lasted just underneath an hour, 58 minutes. Borna Coric from 4-1 down, taking the set 7-5. Now serves Bublik serving to start the second. And the return is into the net from Coric as the second set gets started very quickly. Get you some first set stats here in just a minute. Bublik serves up the tee. Coric blocks the return back. Bublik steps into an off forehand. Coric on the stretch. Flares a backhand wide. Both players landed 61% of their first serves in that set. As Bublik serves out wide, and Coric with the return into the net. So Bublik starting the second set like he started the first set. Remember, he served to start the first and held it love. He won the first 6 points of the set. He's won the first 3. Here to start the second. Bublik serving quickly out wide. It's a let. He won in that first set. Bublik 65% of his points on first serve. Coric won 68%. Bublik serve up the tee. Coric's return lands in. There's a drop shot from Bublik. Coric races to it, but tries to sharply hit a volley cross court. It misses wide. So that is about a 45 or 60 second hold at love for Bublik to start the second set. And quickly they'll change ends, and Coric will serve for the first time in the second set. Second serve points won in the first set. Coric 8 of 16, Bublik 6 of 13. There wasn't a lot to separate the two players, as you might expect for a set that finished 7-5. Coric was down 4-1, came back to take it smashed a racket, and after he smashed the racket into bits and pieces, he was the better player. By the way, 2-0 United. Thank you. Garnacho. He's a firecracker, isn't he? Good start for United. Let's see if they can hold on to it this time. Coric serves out wide. Bublik makes the return. Backhand up the middle from Coric. Slice back by Bublik. Coric steps in to hit a forehand. Stays at the baseline. And long goes Bublik on the forehand. MJ Squash Box is with. I love that name. I love that name. He's with us. Great commentary. Thank you very much. Always appreciate the compliment. Coric serving at 15 love. And serves up the tee. Bublik makes the return. Off forehand from Coric. Bublik up the line on the backhand. Picked up by Coric. Bublik with another drop shot. Coric gets to it, but pushes it into the net. Looked like he got there in plenty of time. He did go into a slide and couldn't elevate on the backhand. 15 all. And yes, we absolutely ask to hit the like and subscribe button. Get notifications on when the channel goes live. It's a wonderful channel. It really, really is. And hold on a minute. I'll compound on that. Coric with the serve. Bublik makes the return off forehand from Coric, throwing himself into a backhand. Bublik. Cross court goes Coric. Was that long? No. Point continues on. Bublik wanted to stop it. Oh, then it's hit a cross court forehand that somehow Coric was able to get the racket to, but it's long. It's a tremendous shot from Bublik, and it's 15-30. As an American tennis fan, there aren't a ton of outlets here to stay up to date with the ins and outs of tennis, and at a lot of points, I've just been stuck to watching the majors, and that's it. Talking Tennis, just a sensational channel to keep up with the sport throughout the entire year. Coric serves up the tee. Bublik swats the return back. Off forehand, Coric. Bublik on the run, hit a backhand. Now Coric anchors away on the forehand, misses long. Bublik's got 2 break points here to start the second set at 15-40. And I say all of that. I know it could be easy for someone to hear that. You work for them, all of that. I truly do mean it. And I'm very grateful that they keep having me on every now and again. It's a lot of fun. Coric has 2 break points here to save. 15-40, serve out wide. Bublik with a high return, and Coric takes it out of the air, smashes it up the middle to save a break point. 1 more to go, 30-40. Second chance for Bublik to take an early lead in the second after dropping the first set. Coric serves, goes out wide but misses. Second serve, chance for Bublik to attack, see if he can. Second serve kicks in. Bublik hits a backhand, now goes into the net, Bublik. Wow, so 2 break points saved by Coric. And we're at deuce. This opening game of the second set. Coric just taking his time here a little bit. Bublik seemed to be ready. Coric serves up the tee. Blocked back by Bublik. Coric off forehand. Bublik on the run. Throws up a lob. Coric takes it out of the air. Smashes it down. Cross court for a winner. Advantage Coric. So a game point here for 1-all. Here for Coric. Bounces the ball multiple times. Now he's ready. 37th ranked player in the world goes out wide on the serve, but misses it. was a really good serve. Bublik was all the way out of the camera shot to try to hit the return, but the serve did miss. Second serve, Coric, toss up, serve is down, out wide, and it's called, what is it called? Coric was just coming up to take a look at the line. They are going to just give us confirmation that it was out, which it was. So the first serve actually was a let. So that was still first serve, which missed. Now second serve, Coric. It's in. Bublik hits a forehand return. Up the line goes Coric. Bublik steers it cross court. Coric with a backhand, just in. Bublik gets it back. Coric steps up to hit a forehand. Bublik has put his forehand into the net. So Coric holds for 1-all. Bublik looked like he wanted to come to the net a couple of times in that rally, thought better of it. Coric hit a very deep shot middle of that rally, and I think that kind of forced Bublik to stay back when he didn't want to. Bublik serving 1-all, up the tee. Coric twirls to get that backhand return. Very deep. Bublik hits a drop shot that Coric got to in plenty of time, but did nothing with it. He's backhanded it straight into the net. It was not a particularly good drop shot from Bublik. Coric had about a million different things that he could have done with that, and he put it into the net. Served by Bublik into the body. It's missed long. 1-all, second set. Second serve is in. Bublik working quickly. It's a forehand up the line. Yanked cross court by Coric. Slice back up the line by Bublik on the forehand. Now hits the two-handed backhand. Coric up the line. Bublik steps into a cross court forehand. Coric is there for the response. And then missing a forehand long is Bublik. Bublik just looking a bit uncomfortable in these rallies that Coric is able to lengthen out. Bublik serves. Up the tee, misses long. He's serving very quickly. He's wasting 0 time. Bounces the ball 5 times, tosses up, serve down up the tee. Coric makes the return, backpedaling to hit a forehand. Bublik. Cross court goes Coric. Big forehand by Bublik. Coric gets that cross court, sliced up the line on the backhand. Bublik. Cross court, one-footed backhand by Coric. Now he scooped a forehand back. It's a short ball off forehand Bublik. Coric has to throw up a lob with Bublik at the net. Bublik hits an overhead. Now has picked up a half volley. Now picked up another, but put it into the net. And it's 15-30 as Bublik just could not finish that point with high balls from Coric. And was kind of in no man's land again. And we've seen Bublik get into no man's land a couple of times down by the service tee, but not in towards the net aggressively or confidently. Whatever the issue is there. It's 15-30 and Coric, I think, senses a little blood in the water. Big serve up the tee, however. Short ball back. Bublik to the net. Coric tries to pass him. Bublik with a good volley there. It's stretched back on a lob by Coric. Overhead by Bublik. This time he hits a winner on. $30-all. So Bublik struggling with form here, just as it seems to do with him a lot, up and down. Serves up the tee here and pounds out an ace, his 7th of the match, and it's 40-30. That was a really good time for that. $40-30. First serve into the nets from Bublik. Here comes the second serve. Up the tee. Makes it. Coric with the return. Rifled long. Bublik with a tough hold there for 2-1. They'll change in still on serve in this second set. Let's see. Hoping to get to 6,000 subscribers. We're inside 500 away from that, which is good. So hit that subscribe button. Absolutely. And we're going to have some people on site in Dallas, Delray Beach, and Indian Wells. That's very exciting. Got Miles in Dallas and Delray Beach. Ashley and Anastasia in Indian Wells. I went very country there. Indian Wales. That'll come out the North Carolina will come out every now and again. Indian Wells and Miami just seems like two marvelous places to go to. Glad that we will have coverage on site at those tournaments. How many aces can Bublik get to? Well, he's at 7 now. Let me make sure I have that number right. I do. So 7. There was one game kind of middle to late in that first set. He finished out with 3 aces back to back to back. So he could easily get to double figures here. Needs to do something in a return game because he was in the last return game of the first set, but he hasn't been in many here lately. Short serving here at 1-2 in the second set. At court, Patrice Dominguez. Serves at the near end, up the tee. Bublik blocks the return back, but it gets deep to the forehand of Coric. Looping forehand by Bublik. Backhand by Coric was deep. Now hits a cross-court backhand. Bublik two-hander cross-court, and Coric is into the net. So it's love 15. Good start to this game for Bublik. We're at just under 75 minutes into this Montpellier final. Coric from 4-1 down in the first set took it 7-5. Now on serve and serving 1-2 in the second set. Looking for his first title since Cincinnati a year and a half or so ago in the summer of 22. Coric serves out wide. Bublik makes the return up the middle. Slice cross court by Coric. Bublik picks it up. Sliced it himself back deep to the backhand of Coric. Looped forehand by Bublik. Big backhand by Coric. Did that miss wide? Yes, it did. Oh, my goodness. Bublik had thrown up a lob, and Coric has kind of headed it. He's headed it on the way down like he's Cristiano Ronaldo. It's love 30. Bublik very much into this return game, so let's see what he's able to do here from love 30 if Coric can fight back. Serves up the tee but misses. Second serve. Chance for Bublik to attack. Let's see if he can. Coric puts it in. Bublik doesn't attack. Hits a very neutralized backhand. Now goes up the line with a forehand. Backhand by Coric is a winner. Wow. And Bublik applauds back across the net. Too good that shot from Coric. Off foots Bublik there. 15-30. By the way, WTA Weekly coming up later today at 6:45 GMT. At one point I knew what GMT meant. I don't know any longer. Something to do with Greenwich something. I don't know. Serving to the net from Coric at 15:30. That's 1:45 p.m. Eastern time, which is a lot easier for me to compartmentalize in my mind. Greenwich meantime. Okay, very good. Here's Coric serving out wide. Bublik makes the return. Coric picks up the forehand. Cross-court goes Bublik. Coric up the line. Bublik cross-court the backhand. Sliced back by Coric. Drop shot from Bublik. Coric gets to it. Another drop shot from Bublik. Oh my goodness. Coric was retreating. Had to come back to get to the drop shot, and he's put it into the net, and it's 15-40 and 2 break points. Coming up here for Bublik. Well, how do you like that? Double drop shot from Bublik. And it's absolutely brilliant, too. Coric was backpedaling after getting to the first drop shot. And then the second from Bublik. That's well played. 2 break points. 15-40, Coric. Good deep serve. Bublik makes a return. Oh, and then Coric came to the net, and he tried to pick up a half volley, but he puts it into the net, and Bublik has broken for 3-1. So Bublik gets the first break of the second set, just as he did in the first. So it is 3-1. Bublik serving. He'll serve for 4-1, which is what he had in the first set, remember. He had 4-1 in the first. Couldn't finish it out. Serve up the tee from Bublik, and he has flattened down an ace. That's his 8th of the match. Bublik serves into the net. Just was taking a look at the poll. Bublik taking in 32% of the votes as Coric makes this return. Oh, and then Bublik with a slice backhand into the net. So everyone's still confident that Bublik can come back in this. And he's had a good start to the comeback. 15 all. Bublik serving 3-1, as you see, in this second set. Toss up from Bublik. Serve down, up the tee. Misses long. Second serve is off the let cord. Drops in, so it's a let on the second serve. Bublik puts this in. Short ball back by Coric, stepping up to the net and hitting a fine forehand winner laced on the inside out forehand by Bublik. It's 30-15. Bublik having another one of those pockets of play where his play goes up. Serves out wide at 30-15 and misses. Second serve was into the net. Throws in a double. That is his third double fault of this final. Coric is yet to throw in a double. Just wiping away some sweat with the towel here is Bublik. A couple of big points coming here after getting the break for 3-1. Looking to consolidate it. It's 30 all in this Bublik service game. Tosses up, serve down. There's an ace out wide. And again, Coric moving from his right to his left. And he watches the serve whistle by. And it's 40-30. Bublik has come up with some big serves on a number of occasions, and that was a big one right there. Now a point for 4-1 in set number 2. Bublik serves up the tee. Coric blocks it back. Short ball. Bublik tries to take care of it with an off forehand. Coric does get it back, but not in play. It's long. Bublik is held for 4-1. His 9th ace of the match was big. And getting away from 30 all and holding on. So it's 4-1 in the second set, just as it was in the first for Bublik. But he gave that all up as Coric came back to win the set 7-5. Now again with a 4-1 advantage is Bublik as he tries to push this final to 3 sets. Mentioned earlier, Yelena Ostapenko winning the title in Linz, beating in the final in just an hour and 10 minutes, Ekaterina Alexandrova. And what do we have coming up next? We have Abu Dhabi coming up here next week on the WTA Tour, a WTA 500 event. Could be a very interesting tournament. Just taking a look at the field, Elena Rybakina is there. So quickly that gets the juices flowing. Big name player like Rybakina, Ons Jabeur, Maria Sakkari. Those are your top 3 seeds in Abu Dhabi. Naomi Osaka is there. Oh boy, it's going to be Osaka and Collins in the first round. The winner to play Rybakina. Hello. There's that raises the eyebrows, gets the ears up. Could very well have Rybakina and Osaka in the second round. 4th seed is Krejcikova, just to finish that out. So that should be a very entertaining tournament next week in Abu Dhabi. Danielle Collins making it through qualifying to get into the main draw there. Here's Coric serving and up the tee. He has hit an ace for 15 love. Of course, we had some fun with Danielle Collins here on the channel during the Australian Open as she looked to have a big upset over Iga Swiatek in her back pocket, but let it go in a third set in Melbourne. Coric serves up the tee. Bublik's return will not drop in. 30 love. That picture of Yelena with that trophy, my goodness. She is the queen of the facial expressions. No doubt about that. 30 love. Coric down a break in this second set, goes out wide. Bublik makes the return. Coric sets up a backhand cross court that Bublik makes back. Now it's a drop shot from Bublik. Coric gets to it. Puts it into the net. How many times have we seen Coric get to a Bublik drop shot in plenty of time and then just touch it into the net? Ostapenko is in the draw in Abu Dhabi as well, so she's making a very quick turnaround there. Try to look through that draw in a little more in depth here in just a moment. Coric serves, misses long. Ostapenko is seated 5th in Abu Dhabi. Is set to play Heather Watson in the first round. Coric serving to the backhand of Bublik up the line. Coric cross-court forehand, that's long, 30 all. Ostapenko just missing getting a first-round bye by 1 seed spot. She could have done with that bye after a weekend lens. Beatriz Haddad-Maia will be there. It's the number 6 seed. Raducanu's there as a wild card. We'll play Buskova in the first round as Coric serves out wide, misses. Paula Badossa's there. Really like to see Paula Badossa get back to top form. Second serve, Coric to the forehand of Bublik. Big return, but it's gone long. Tried to hit a big return, but missed it. It's given Coric now 40-30. So that's a very interesting draw there in Abu Dhabi. And again, the opportunity to have Rybakina and Osaka in the second round if Osaka could get by Danielle Collins. Second serve, Coric. First serve, rather, I beg your pardon, at 40-30 is into the net. Has a game point. Serves here to the backhand of Bublik, and that return is gunned long, so Coric is able to hold 4-2. Stays within a break, which is what he did in the middle portions of that first set, and then saw an opportunity and took it to stage a comeback. Bublik serving at 4-2 now. Goes up the tee. Coric with the return off the frame of his racket goes high into the air and drops short of the net. 15 love. Service winner there from Bublik. ATP in Dallas next week. Big serve there from Bublik. Coric makes a terrific return, but it's let on the serve. Serve here. Blocked back by Coric. Short. Oh, and into the net goes Bublik. Wow. Francis Tiafoe will be the top seed in Dallas. Of course, as you might imagine, a lot of American men in the draw. In fact, the top 3 seeds are all American: Tiafoe, Paul, and Shelton. Serve out wide. Bublik with an ace. He's up to 10. It's 30-15. And the other top seed that gets a first round bye, 4th seed, is Manarino. Bublik serving 30-15. Out wide. There's another ace. He's up to 11. 40-15. And didn't I just read where we're going to have someone on the ground in Dallas? Did I have that right? So can't wait to keep up with that during the week. Bublik 40-15. Serves out wide. Just missed long. Didn't miss by a lot. Yes, Miles will be in Dallas. Very good. Can't wait to keep up with him. Bublik's second serve is off the let cord and it ricochets out, so it's a double fault. Very good. So he'll be there Wednesday and Thursday and onward. So very good. So can't wait to keep up with that. I'm sure plenty of videos here on the channel and on social. Another serve off the let cord drops out for Bublik at 40-30, trying to get to 5-2 in this second set. Serve is in. Coric with a deep return. Drop shot from Bublik. Coric gets to it and does what he's done all match long, which is get to the drop shot but put it into the net. So Bublik is held for 5-2. He never got to that point in the first set. He has here in the second, 5-2. Change ends. Coric will serve to stay in the set. Interviews, press conferences, and more coming from Miles in Dallas next week. Now, did anyone watch the old Dallas soap opera? If there's not many Americans watching, there's probably not going to be a lot of yes answers to that. But the old Dallas soap opera was a thing of dramatic beauty. Now, there you go. Who shot JR? You got it. But the theme song was just absolutely fantastic. Oh, okay, so it was big in the UK too. All right. Now, see, I did not know that. I would never have known that. Yeah, who shot JR? It was not Sue Ellen. Then they brought it back. They brought it back for a couple of years, a reboot on TNT. I watched that because I was certainly not around for the first run that it was on I think CBS off the top of my head. But I did watch the reboot on TNT. Man, it's just everybody backstabbing everybody. Is that really what life is like in Dallas, Texas? Come on. There you go. There's everybody right there. Oh my. Yeah, the Who Shot JR episode was absolutely enormous. Here's Coric serving, trying to stay in the set at 2-5, misses the first. Gotta find where you can stream Dallas, the original now. Coric second serve. Oh, tried to kick it in, but it misses long. So that's his first double fault of this final. Coric. You should clip that. Yeah, I agree. Oh, dear. Coric serving at love 15. Bublik makes the return up the line. Cross court the forehand. Coric. Bublik running east-west to get back to that forehand. And then Coric puts his forehand into the net. It's love 30. Last week, it was during the women's final, the Australian Open, wasn't it? It was the Australian Open women's final. And I can't remember if it was late first set or early second set. We had that person started screaming, protesting. I was, of course, doing the match on USRN and had one of those moments. Here's Coric serving to the backhand of Bublik. Coric with a slice backhand up the middle. Forces Bublik to come in to hit a backhand. Now a lob by Coric. Oh, and a big overhead winner by Bublik. He swings the fist. He's got 3 set points here at love 40. Yeah, that's the first time that Coric has hit a shot like that to draw Bublik in rather than hit an approach shot to get in himself. Tried to throw up a lob. He's hit a lob winner already, but Bublik was there to stab that one down. Set points for Bublik at love 40. Coric serves. Bublik with a squash shot on the return. Off forehand, Coric comes to the net. Bublik a backhand. Coric is into the net. Bublik has taken the second set. He's come back and taken the second set 6-2. And we're going to go the distance in this final in Montpellier, as Bublik forces a third set. Takes care of business 6-2 in the middle set. Off we go. 1 set to decide who takes the trophy. We'll be back.
Thanks for tuning into this watch along. While there's a break in play, here's a reminder to hit the like button, subscribe and click that notification bell. Your support helps to keep the channel going. While we're here, you can now become a member to enjoy perks including badges for the live chat, but also bonus material such as interviews with top players from both ATP and WTA tours. The membership link is pinned in the live chat. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. So whether it be serves or volleys, forehands or backhands, serve bots or drop shots, we've got you covered. Whether that be via our website, talking-tennis.com, where you can read features and interviews from our top writers. Or if you prefer us in audio form, you can subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Amazon or Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts from. Remember, we offer you wall-to-wall coverage via our regular watch-alongs, magazine shows such as Nick's WTA Weekly or Damien and Mario's ATP version. Plus, we deliver top content from people on the ground, actually at the tournaments, so you get even nearer to the action. So, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
All right, so off we go to a third set in this Montpellier final. Alexander Bublik racing back, taking the second set 6-2. He had the 4-1 lead that he had in the first set get away from him in the first. Takes care of it in the second. And we go to a decisive set to see who takes the trophy in Montpellier. Trophy that Bublik has already won a couple of years ago. Now trying to take it once again. Let's see. Garnacho has made it 3-0 United. That's good news. The bad news is Martinez has gone off with an injury. That's not good. It is a good victory that this is going to be over West Ham, though. Did they come in? They come in even on points or United ahead by just a smidge. Can't quite recall. They're 6th and 7th, I think, right? But either they're even on points or United is up by like 1 or something. Going to extend the lead on the Hammers. So let's see what this third set has in store for us here in Montpellier. It's a good fight back from Bublik, and now I have to say, if you had to pick someone, you'd probably have to pick Bublik. He's been the better player for now a set and a half of the two sets. It was the second half of the first set where he had that dip in play, and Coric took advantage and took the set. But really, of the two sets played, 3/4 of it, Bublik has been the better player. But off we go to a third set here for the title. Mentioned that Bublik won this title in February of 2022. That was his first tour title. It was his fifth attempt at a final. First one that he had won. He beat Alexander Zverev in the final here 2 years ago, which is a terrific win. Now he's come back trying to claim another victory in Montpellier. Not sure if Coric went off the court. No, Bublik stayed. Just changed his shirt, I believe, but Coric may have just gone off the court for a moment. Doing a bunch of crowd shots inside the stadium, people waving and kids jumping up and down, wants to be on camera. Everyone wants to be on camera when you're a kid. As you get older, you don't want the camera to see you. He says as a camera watches his every move while calling a tennis match. Bublik's already on the court, and he's kind of hopping around, just staying loose. Again, no sign of Coric yet. Have to also think, and hopefully it isn't popping into Bublik's mind at this time, but he's got to be thinking just a 10 or 15 minute spell where he dipped in play in that first set. If it wasn't for that, could have already had this thing finished. But, of course, everybody knows the kind of player that Bublik is. He does have the ups and the downs, and he has to know that in his mind as well. Here comes Coric. Back out onto the court. By the way, in Linz, the women's doubles final is going on as we speak, and up a set in that final is the Italian pair of Sara Errani and she is matched up with Jasmine as the serve out wide by Bublik to get this third set going is returned by Coric. Forehand up the line, backhand of Coric to the drop shot of Bublik. Coric races to it, gets that one over the net. Forehand up the line. Oh, Bublik tried to pass him and did. What a shot. Passing shot winner up the line with a forehand. Jasmine Paolini. I was trying to get out and could not for some reason, but it's Jasmine Paolini and Sara Errani up a set in that doubles final in Linz. Bublik serves out wide. It's a huge serve. Somehow Coric makes the return. Big forehand cracked cross court by Bublik, and into the net goes Coric, and it's 30-love. Well, Bublik has started each of the first two sets with a hold at love. 30-love here, and an ace up the tee. Goodness gracious. Trying to do it again with the hold at love to start a set. Serve misses out wide here. Second serve is in. Coric makes the return on the forehand. Cross-court winner, Bublik. It's another hold at love. That's amazing. So each of the three sets, Bublik has served to start the set, and he's held at love in all three. Very quick start to the third set. Bublik up 1-love. And now Coric. They'll change ends, and he will serve here. Yes, Arsenal and Liverpool coming up in just a matter of moments. That is, of course, a mega match. With a lot going on at the top of the table between the Gunners and Liverpool. Of course, the stunning news, however many days ago now, that Liverpool will not have their main man after the end of this year as Coric serves up the tee, shoveled back by Bublik. Coric with a forehand cross court, up the line Bublik, big backhand by Coric, slice back by Bublik, cross court goes Coric, Bublik a forehand, Coric on the stretch, throws up a short ball that Bublik is able to meet and hit cross court for a winner. It was stunning news about Jurgen Klopp leaving Liverpool at the end of this season. We'll see where he heads. Of course, now we know that Kylian Mbappe is going to Real Madrid at the end of the year from PSG. I'm a huge Kylian Mbappe fan. Oh my goodness gracious, he is just the most magnificent player to watch. Hopefully we'll have more success at Real Madrid rather than PSG, who somehow never has success despite having oodles of money. Into a rally here, Bublik with a backhand. Up the line goes Coric. Big forehand by Bublik. Comes to the net. Now reverses course as Coric hit a good forehand up the line. Hits the yet another. Cross court the backhand by Bublik. Cross court goes Coric. Shoveled back by Bublik. Cross court Coric. Bublik on the move, and he hits the forehand into the net. Good rally there. And it's 15-all. Someone will have to explain to me how PSG has not won a Champions League title in this stretch of just having the greatest players on their team. I mean, for goodness sakes, Mbappe and Messi, and just go up and down the line of the players they have had, and somehow they have not won the biggest trophy. Serve out wide misses from Coric off the tape. 15-all. He serves at love 1 in this decisive set. Second serve is in. Bublik lines up a return up the line of the forehand. Backhand from Coric is deep. Might it have been too deep? It was. It's 15-30. And Coric is kind of on a knife's edge right here to start this third set. Coric at 15-30. Serves out wide. Really good serve. Short ball back by Bublik. Into the net from Coric, however, who had come into the net. I mean, he's been coming to the net so much in this match, and he's come in willingly, but he hasn't looked overly confident a lot when looking in to the net. 2 break points for Bublik to put one hand on the trophy. Coric at the far end serves out wide. Bublik makes the return. Forehand by Coric up the middle. Backing up the line, Bublik. Cross court goes Coric. There's the Bublik drop shot. Coric to the net. Shuffles it up the line. Bublik tries to pass him with the backhand. Another volley hit by Coric. That's in. Bublik with a forehand. Oh! Forehand by Bublik up the line. Throwing up an arm was Coric right away. He wanted to challenge in case it was called good. Let's see what we're going to get. It missed the line. Bublik's made a very bad error there. That's a very difficult shot to miss. Coric fends off a break point. One more to do at 30-40. Looked like Bublik had somehow wrangled away that point and gotten the break, but it's still up in the air. Coric at 30-40. Serves up the tee, blocked back by Bublik. Coric a forehand up the line. Yanked cross court by Bublik. Off the let cord from Coric. It hangs up for Bublik to hit a forehand deep. Coric throws up a lob. Bublik with an overhead winner. He's got the break to start the final set. 2-love to Bublik. In the decisive set, the let cord hit by Coric. Hung up for Bublik. And after he did all but claim the break on the last rally, he does on this one. It's 2-love. And is he on his way now? Meanwhile, good knowledge on the football. Do you follow a team, says Sean. Yeah, well, I am a Manchester United supporter. I try not to let that depress me. Serve up the tee by Bublik is an ace. I'd say he's wound up and ready to go after winning that last point to claim the break. It's 15-love. Love serve up the tee. Ah, my goodness, it's another service winner. Coric with just the frame of the racket on it, and Bublik is flying along now. Up a break in 30-love in this final set. Serves out wide. Coric makes the return. Bublik shovels it back on the backhand. Up the middle, Coric. Cross court the forehand by Bublik. Up the line, Coric. Backhand into the net from Bublik at 30-15. So Sean is an Arsenal fan. I mean, listen, United's not going to win this title. I knew that from the start of the season. So whoever can just keep City from winning it. If it's Liverpool, I'll take it. If it's Arsenal, I'll take it. As long as they don't allow City to win another one. If it's Aston Villa, that's even better. 30-15. Serve up the middle. Forehand reply by Coric. Drop shot Bublik. Coric gets to it. Oh, boy. A slip by Bublik. Coric was able to chop that away into the corner, but it was awfully close to the line. And Bublik challenges, and it missed the line from Coric. Wow. Bublik had slipped. He was out of the play. And Coric with a pretty bad miss right there. (40-15) and points for 3-love. Bublik looking to consolidate this early break, and does with another powerful ace out wide. He is serving extremely well now. And they will change ends with Bublik 3-love up in this final set. That's ace 14 from Bublik. So Coric has a lot of work to do now. Remember, came back from 4-1 down in the first set to win it. We'll see if he can overcome this deficit in the third set. Yes, so John somehow wandered about, found me doing World Cup commentary from 2 years ago, just the wildest of World Cups. Very happy that he did find me. I'm always interested in how people find people this day and age with social media, YouTube, this, that, and the other. But very glad that you did run across us. And I follow this. I follow every sport as closely as I possibly can. Obviously, I've been a big United fan since I got into the sport. I've become an enormous fan of Kylian Mbappe. Lionel Messi being over here in the States it's going to be the single biggest thing that's ever happened to the sport in the United States is him being an Inter Miami. I mean, every single one of the matches when he was at Miami last year was packed. There were superstars there. Serena Williams was there. Remember that. David Beckham was there. And he just draws a crowd. It's going to be the single biggest thing to happen in the sport in this country, which is terrific to see. Coric serves up the tee. Blocked back by Bublik. Off forehand from Coric. He comes to the net, but Bublik's unable to get the backhand in play. the one thing that the one thing that I will say about soccer, football in the United States is I've been hearing for so long that it's going to be the second biggest sport in the country in the next X amount of years behind only American football, behind the NFL and college football. Coric serving 15 love up the tee. Bublik gets a return long, and it's 30 love. I've been hearing that for so long. They've been saying that for so long. Soccer will overtake baseball. Soccer will overtake basketball. It just hasn't happened yet. I don't know if it'll ever happen. Now, it may have overtaken hockey by now, but of course, we've got a lot of great, and I do mean great, American stars in hockey. Coric serves into the net like Austin Matthews, Jack Hughes, his brother Luke Hughes. We have amazing American hockey players. We're still not churning out 5-star quality American soccer players. Coric serves. Backhand of Bublik up the middle. Coric big backhand. Sliced back by Bublik cross court. Picked up by Coric. Cross court the forehand Bublik. Scooped on back by Coric. Bublik had time to set up that backhand cross court. Oh, and then Coric smokes a forehand winner up the line. That's the best shot he's hit so far. And it's 40 love. And of course, the question has always been in this country, in the States, is would kids that have high potential to be a great soccer player, would they choose soccer over football and basketball and tennis and hockey and baseball and so forth and so on? Serve out wide by Coric is in. Bublik's return is long. Coric holds it love. I think that might be his first love hold of the match, and it's 3-1. Of course, we have had amazing women's soccer players for decades now come out of the States. But they're still looking to break through on the men's side. And of course, now is the time to do it because there's so much coming up. Copa America is in the United States this year, which I am extremely excited for. Copa America is in the United States this year. Then the FIFA Club World Cup is in the U.S. in 25. As Bublik has thrown in a double fault to start this serve game. And then in 2026, the World Cup will, of course, be in America along with Mexico and Canada. So this is the greatest time for soccer in the United States, and hopefully the U.S. can make an impact on Copa America and the World Cup. First serve misses there from Bublik. Love 15, second serve up the tee. Coric makes the return. Bublik's got a drop shot. Coric gets to it, puts it up the line. Bublik throws up a lob. Coric with a wild overhead. Bublik an off forehand. Coric hitting reverse. Throws up a stabbing backhand. And then Bublik hits a forehand winner up the line. Meanwhile, John has the Dallas theme stuck in his head, which is very easy to do. It's super catchy. Very easy to get that stuck in your head. It's one of the greatest TV theme songs ever. When you think of greatest TV theme songs, you think of Friends, think of Dallas, How I Met Your Mother, 15 all. Bublik serves out wide, misses long. Here comes the second serve. Bublik puts it into the backhand of Coric. Drop shot from Bublik. They're both at the net. Coric a lob. It drops in. Reverting back to the baseline to hit a lob is Bublik. Forehand overhead winner from Coric. It's 15-30. Bublik doesn't need to get too cute here. Up a break in the final set. He is in danger of getting a little too cute with the drop shots and everything else. Keep with what's working. Could get away from you just as it did in the first set. Bublik serves into the net. Not connecting on some of these first serves here. Serve up the tee. Coric makes the return. Bublik on the move. Scoops a forehand back. Coric with a forehand back into Bublik. Cross court goes Coric. Directed long by Bublik, and Coric has 2 break points. Well, how do you do? Coric a chance to get back on serve. Bublik has played very uneven game here, and again he misses a serve up the tee. Serves here up the middle. Coric makes the return. Backhand from the net, Bublik. Lob by Coric. Overhead winner by Bublik to save a break point. He's got one more to save here now. Still a chance for Coric to get on serve in this final set. Bublik taking his time. He's been serving very quickly in this match. Taking his time here, though. A lot of dribbles of the ball. Now he's ready. Serves up the tee. Misses long. Second serve is in. Coric unable to put the return in play. It's long. 2 break points saved by Bublik. Strong couple of points there from Bublik. Do serve up the tee. It's an ace, but was not in. Oh, it just missed. Ooh, thought he had one there. I'll try again. 3-1 in the final set and deuce. Out wide, that is an ace. No doubt about that one. Bublik continues to crack down on some aces here. Now has a game point for 4-1. That was his 15th of the match. Serve up the tee. Coric can't get it back in play. That's a great hold from Bublik. Saved 2 break points. He holds for 4-1. He's 2 games away from winning what would be his second title in Montpellier. A reminder, as you see on your screen, WTA Weekly is coming up here on the channel in just a couple of hours, 2.5 hours. Hope you will tune into that for a recap of Ostapenko's title in Linz and a preview to that terrific Abu Dhabi tournament that I mentioned just well, I don't know how long ago it was now that I mentioned it, but it's a great draw. Elena Rybakina, the top seed, very well could play Naomi Osaka in the second round. Great field. Set to do battle in that WTA 500 event in Abu Dhabi, which starts tomorrow. Get a preview of that. WTA Weekly is coming up on the channel here in just a couple of hours or so. So Bublik 4-1 up now in this final set. If you haven't been with us throughout, he was up 4-1 in the first set, Bublik, then fell apart. Coric smashed a racket. After he did that, he became the better player, came back to win the set 7-5. Bublik then almost a carbon copy of the start of the second set as he had in the first, was up 4-1. This time he finished at 6-2. And look where he is now in the third set, 4-1. And Coric has to engineer another comeback. 2 hours in this final. Just over the 2-hour mark now. So Coric comes back onto the court, looking for his first title since Cincinnati in 2022. Serving at 1-4 down, final set, far end, serves up the tee, and it does miss. Now Bublik walks up towards the baseline. Second serve is in out wide, and Bublik's return has a missile that goes way long. $15 Coric with a hill to climb. Serves up the tee. Bublik makes the return. Off forehand from Coric. Sliced back off the let court and in from Bublik. Then a sliced backhand from Coric. Bublik a drop shot. Coric is there. He pushes it up the line. Cross court the backhand Bublik. Half volley pickup Coric. Bublik's there. His cross court forehand is down for a winner. 15-all. And Coric, again, struggling to get to the Bublik drop shots and then do something productive when he gets to it. He's been getting to all of them. He's not getting beaten by the drop shots. He's getting beaten by what he does when he gets to them. 15-all. And Coric serves up the tee. Bublik one-hands the return, and at the net a winning volley is hit by Coric. And there was a really good stretch of play that Coric did late first set, early second, where he was doing a lot of serve and volleying, and it was paying dividends. See if he tries to come into the net more here, as he needs something to break up what's happening here in this third set. Serving at 30-15. It's up the tee. He is coming to the net. He hits a volley. Bublik gets to it, throws up a lob. Coric hits the overhead, but he hits it long. 30-all. Cannot afford to go down 5-1. So these are big points coming up here for Coric. Got here yesterday after Holger Rune retired from the semifinal. Bublik beating Watchalong in a 2.5-hour three-setter yesterday. Coric 30-all serve out wide. Bublik makes the return with the forehand. Cross court goes Coric. Into the net goes Bublik. That's a big point for Coric to win. It's 40-30, and a point here for 4-2. He was only on court 57 minutes yesterday, while Bublik was on for an hour and 40 more, winning that three-setter over the Canadian Watchalong. Coric serves 40-30 up the tee. Missed it long. Bublik had to go 2 hours in the quarterfinal, too, to beat Shevchenko, so this is his third straight match going over 2 hours. Second serve kicked in. Return is long by Bublik, and Coric is held. So Coric holds for 4-2. Still, it's on Bublik's racket here. Bublik serves into the net. Comes the second serve. Out wide, Coric stretches out to get the return, and then Bublik off-foots him with a forehand winner into the deuce court. 15-love. There's the serve +1. Bublik has served extremely well in this match. And if he serves well to end it, he'll be holding up a trophy here in about 10 or 20 minutes. Serves out wide. Coric blocked the return back into the net. 30-love. 15 aces for Bublik, and he's won 80% of his first serve points. 30-love. Serve out wide. Ace out wide. 16. A sweet 16th ace for Bublik. Points for 5-2. Serves up the tee. Coric made the return, but it's a let on the serve. First serve is in. Coric makes a short ball return off forehand by Bublik. Oh, and then Coric is able to connect on a backhand winner up the line. Bublik was coming in towards the net, caught in no man's land as Coric was able to sling that backhand winner. It's 40-15. Bublik trying to pull out all the stops here, as he is close to losing this final. Bublik serves, misses up the middle. Here comes the second serve. He's done this all game, all match where he served quickly. Short ball back. Oh, and then Bublik yanks a backhand long and wide. That's a poor miss. It was a short ball on the return by Coric. Poor miss. See if that comes back to bite him here as Coric has crept back into this game. Still a game point for 5-2, 40-30 serve out wide. Coric with a deep return. Bublik with a half volley. Coric to the net with a forehand. Bublik tries to pass him but can't. Coric hits a winning volley. From 40 love, it's deuce. Where did this come from? This has come really out of nowhere from Coric in this game. He hit a backhand winner. He got a bad error from Bublik, and then he came to the net and hit a winning volley. It's deuce. Bublik serves out wide. Coric makes the return deep on Bublik. Can't pick it up. It's into the net. Coric has a break point. Out of nothing. Coric has manufactured a break point. Bublik serves. Coric makes the return up the middle. A drop shot from Bublik. He comes to the net, and he hits a winning volley away. Into the ad court corner. He saves a break point. It's deuce again. This is the most dramatic point of this match now. Squash shot there by Bublik at a very important time. He got away with it. Serve up the tee is an ace. Bublik able to crank out another one. Or no, did they call that a let? Oh, they did. Let cord. Ace negated. Serving at deuce. And into the net. Second serve coming here. Match clock north of 2 hours. Second serve out wide. No, it's a double fault. Well, he thought he had an ace just a couple of moments ago. Let cord denied him. Now he's thrown in a double for the 6th time in the match. Coric with another break point. Serve by Bublik out wide. That's a service winner. It's deuce again. Coming up with some big serves when he's had to. This feels like a game that very well could decide the match. If Coric can get this break and get back on serve, have a huge tidal wave of momentum to try to complete the comeback with. If Bublik can hold, he stays up a break and demoralizes his opponent. Another ace! Up the tee, that's 17. Another point for 5-2. He'll be very annoyed with himself to let 40 love go the way he has in this game, but now he's been able to fend off a couple of break points. Another chance for 5-2. Bublik serves up the tee. Coric makes the return. Bublik across court backhand. Coric stretches to get to the backhand, but it's into the net. What a hold for Bublik. A bit unnecessarily lengthy and dramatic, the hold from 40 love, but he gets it done. They'll change ends at 5-2, and Bublik is a game away from the trophy in Montpellier. That was kind of a game in a nutshell to describe the tennis player Alexander Bublik. But he gets away with it. And now is a game away here from a second title in Montpellier and a fourth ATP Tour title. Came in ranked 27th in the world. Coric ranked 37th. As they come into this ATP 250 event. Again, as it's been throughout the match, Bublik is off his chair and onto the floor, back onto the court quicker than Coric, who's taking his time. Coric serving to stay in this final at 5-2. Picks up the racket, Coric now. 38 minutes this third set. Matches over 2 hours 10. Coric just trying to stay within a break, force Bublik to serve it out. There were some nervy moments in that last Bublik service game. Force him to step up and win it. So here's Coric at 2-5, final set. To stay in the final. Serves out wide. Bublik's return is rifled deep. Off forehand, Coric comes to the net, but Bublik's slice backhand is planted into the bottom of the net. 15-love. $15-love here for Coric. Toss up, serve down, out wide, blocked back by Bublik, but the serve missed from Coric. Second serve coming. 27-year-old from Croatia. Toss up, serve down. This one's in. Backhand is long on the return by Bublik. 30-love. Deposits a ball, does Coric. Now zeroes in. 3 dribbles, toss up, serve down, out wide. Bublik's return is into the bottom of the net. 40-love. Coric racing along in this must-hold game. Going to put the pressure on Bublik to serve it out. Especially after that nervy service game just a moment ago. Here's Coric, 40-love. Serve is up the tee. Bublik's return is cranked wide. Hold it, love for Coric. He stays in this final, and now Bublik will step up to serve forward at 5-3. Seeded second in this tournament, Bublik, behind only Holger Rune. And now he is a game away from finishing it out. Bublik at the far end, serves into the net. Here comes the second serve, pounded up the tee. Coric makes the return, big backhand Bublik. Cross court from Coric, backhand off the let cord from Bublik. Oh, who now goes up the line and misses into the net on the backhand. Can Coric find a way through here to get back on serve in this final set against the 26-year-old Bublik, who serves up the tee? Coric makes the return. Drop shot Bublik. Coric is there. He scuffles it up the line. Bublik passes him. Forehand winner cross court. And he wants the crowd to get into it now. 15-all. Again, Coric, his undoing has been the inability to get to the net and make a difference when he gets there. Serve into the net from Bublik. Quickly, here's the second. Down deep, Coric made the return off forehand. Bublik to the net. He comes to hit a volley. Coric throws up a lob, and he's hit a lob winner, and it's not the first time he's done that in this final. Perfectly measured lob from Coric. It's 15-30. He is in this return game. Bublik trying to finish it out. 15-30. Serve out wide. It's a let. Could do with a couple of those aces. He's got 17 in this final. He could do with a couple here. At the far end. He serves. Oh, there it is. There's one. Out wide, an 18th ace, 30 all. He's 2 points from the trophy. 213 kilometers an hour on the ace. He's come from a set down. Bublik serves. There's another ace. Cranked up the tee, up to 19, and a championship point for Alexander Bublik. For a fourth ATP title, for a second in Montpellier. Alexander Bublik, championship point. Does Coric have one more fight back in him? Bublik serves out wide. Coric can't make the return, and it is a Kazakh king in Montpellier. Alexander Bublik has claimed his second Montpellier title. Brilliant serving match. And he finished it out with two aces and then a service winner to finish it. And it is Bublik who takes it here in Montpellier in 3 sets. Comes from behind to win 5-7, 6-2, 6-3.
Thank you very much, Matthew. I can't pretend that I'm going to be all over this match when I was watching Manchester United for the first 2 sets. But just tell me, how was that? I mean, Bublik, as you said at one point in your commentary, was kind of the better player for 70, 80% of the match, but he just managed to find a way of losing that first set.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. We played 3 sets. He was the better player for 2.5 of the 3 sets. He had a dip in play towards the end of the first set. Coric also picked himself up once he smashed the racket. But Bublik, the better player for sure. Yeah, and certainly the better server. Amazed with how he served. You don't see the stat line that he has on serve for this match. You don't normally see that from a player that was forced to go 3 sets and dropped a set. 19 aces, and he won 80% of his first serve points. So very strange to see a player with that kind of line drop a set.
Yeah, right. And as Greg points out here on Twitter, I think Bublik lost his first set in every round somehow or another. So it seemed to be a thing to get him going to help propel him towards the title. Make sure, of course, everyone who is tuning in to hit the like button and subscribe, but also to check out WTA Weekly, as I know you mentioned earlier, Matthew, but tomorrow as well, we'll have ATP Weekly. So if you're wondering about this match and you want a detailed analysis of that, make sure to tune in to Mario and Damien tomorrow. But Matthew, big thanks for your commentary this morning. I hope the rest of your Sunday goes pleasantly, and look forward to having you on the channel again soon.
Absolutely. Can't wait to tune in later today. I'm very excited to hear the preview of that tournament in Abu Dhabi. That's a great field.
Absolutely. With, as you mentioned, Osaka there and Raducanu getting a wild card. And I guess Osaka's playing with a wild card too. Rybakina there. Collins has qualified. The Brit Heather Watson is in action. So it's a 500, but a stacked field.
Yeah, it absolutely is. So I'll be tuning in for that. And thank you again for having me on. This was so much fun.
Thank you, Matthew, and we'll speak to you soon.
Thanks.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis. Boris Becker, Holger Rune partnership, but you could also tell me about, Holger and 2024 and maybe where he could go and where maybe he needs to improve.
Yeah, I think Boris is a great addition to his team. You've got Holger, who's a young player, somewhat of an impulsive player, unbelievably good at coming forward. This is who Medvedev should look at and just go and look at Holger Rune playing, because anything a little bit short, Holger's all over the net. So, Boris brings credibility to win big titles. When you've got a coach, there's a great picture you've got there. When you're looking in your coach's eyes and your coach has been number one, your coach has won multiple Grand Slams, has been an icon of our sport from a young age, I think it's a great mix. And, Boris is coming out of personal troubles, and for him to be, readily accepted by the rest of the tennis community and tennis fraternity straight back on tour. Boris was so engaging at in Turin. I was in the front row. He was about 15 seats down to my right, and he was standing constantly. To start with, I thought, well, his leg's sore. He needs to stand because, his knee's bad. But, he brought so much energy to Holger and so much positive energy, but also strength as well. So I think that is a really good connection. I think Holger will benefit from that for sure. And I think Holger Rune has an excellent year next year, a really good year. He's got such a good all-court game, probably the best all-court game since Federer retired. So his ability to jump on a short ball, his ability to attack, his ability to serve and volley, his ability to come forward with a forehand down the line when standing with 2 feet behind the baseline is probably the gold standard right now. And he just needs, the forehand can get a bit impulsive. He can spray a bit with that. He can get too antsy when things aren't going his way. You can see them, the nerves go up a little bit. He just needs to stay calm. He needs to chill. He needs to breathe. He needs to take his time. There's nothing that there's no problem that he needs to solve. He just needs to not beat himself. And those are the messages that he needs to really take on board for next year. And, he, at some stage next year, he could be number 2 in the world, challenging Novak for number 1.
Ready? Play.
Quando mi fa male.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis. Hey, thanks for taking the time to, well, you haven't got any choice actually. I'm just talking at you if you like. But I'm here also to present to you why I think it's not a bad idea and not that expensive as well if you become a member. And this is how you can do it, and this is what you can gain. So if we look here at the Talking Tennis sort of home page, if you like, on YouTube, we can see this little button here which says join. It is also pinned in the live chat as well, and you can also, I think, see it just below most of our videos, certainly the live ones and so on. Now, why is it a good idea to join and become a member? Well, in the live chat, you can add little funny things, you can add emojis and all sorts of things, but possibly more importantly, you can get to access some live videos, such as this one here, where we look back on the last sort of few moments from the Billie Jean King Cup. So there are little bonuses such as this one, but there are many, many more. And in fact, if we have a quick look at all of the members only stuff, I repeat, you will see very, very quickly some of the top stuff that we've had for members only over the last 12 months since the channel began. Remember, these videos are for members only. You can become a member from as little as about $2 a month, €2 a month, £2 a month, something like that. There are various different things. Oh, and by the way, you'll also be supporting the channel. So it's a win-win-win-win scenario. Let me just show you some of the members only stuff. For example, we've got an exclusive little clip there talking to Laura Siegmund, Laura Tsurenko, her encore interview, some doubles footage there from Monastir, the Germany press conference pre-tournament Billie Jean King Cup, Claire Burrell talking as well to the media in her press conference in Monastir, Storm Hunter and Alicia Parks interview, Rebecca Masarova, her press conference, Coco Gauff exclusive for members only, albeit it was in Madrid. But these are just some of the things, some of the interviews and etc. Like Lestien here, a chat with him, Emma Navarro, and so on and so forth. So many little bonus videos available for just €2 a month. So what are you waiting for? Become a member. Or don't. It's okay. There are the mental side of tennis, from my perspective as a fan, if you like. The two things that strike me in tennis compared to lots of other sports that I think make it a big mental challenge is, first of all, it's an individual sport. But secondly, so there's nowhere to hide. Like in football, in a team sport, you can just give the ball to another, teammate, and you cannot call for it if you like. But there's nowhere to hide. The other thing as well in tennis is again in something like football, you can be really nervous, but you can get a bit lucky. And of course, that can be the case in tennis. But basically, your body could be shaking when you're about to take a penalty. Okay, and you can still score because you can just put your foot through it, right? You just hit it as hard as you can.
and actually probably you will still score because of the odds on that.
Yeah.
But there's that in a sport such as darts, snooker, tennis, where you need to be pretty calm and you need to have a pretty steady hand. There's just nowhere to hide. Is there anything I'm missing, or am I underplaying something, or even overplaying?
No. I think you're 100% correct. I think the real tough thing about these sports and tennis in particular, because of how physical it is as well, is the relentlessness of point after point. And if you're nervous, you have to fight through those nerves sometimes for an hour. and they might disappear for a while, but then suddenly you're 5-all and it's tight again, and you're feeling very tight, and you have to manage it over and over again. And I think the best players in the world just use their tools and remember to use their tools in big moments. Because once you get to pro level, it's not like any player doesn't kind of know what they have to do, but it's in the heat of that moment that they either don't remember because the brain is frying a little bit, or they don't have the courage to use them.
Yeah.
So for us sitting there, I remember when Roger Federer had 2 match points against Novak at Wimbledon serving.
Yeah.
You're thinking serve and volley both.
Okay.
Yeah, probably Novak's not going to make a great return on both.
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't know what whether that what Roger was thinking, or maybe knew something more than that I did, but that was my thinking. But he didn't, and they slipped through his hands. Now to do that though in that moment takes a huge amount of courage.
Yeah. And
first to make the decision, and then secondly to follow through the decision like that. But then you've always got, and this is what's so tough for players. The other thing is, match point, make the person play. Don't serve and give them a quick volley or whatever. And that's another school of thought. But I think deep down, players get to a place where they have an instinct. And I think, I say this over and over again, the best players in the world are the most relaxed and the bravest. Because in those moments, when their instinct is telling them something, they are brave enough to follow it. And which is why, and again, it doesn't guarantee you're going to win, but I do think it starts to push the odds more in your favor. I'll just say one other thing is, I don't know if anybody's ever been go-karting or any kind of motor racing or watches motor racing,
mm-hmm.
but when a driver gets in the groove, they lap like within 0.1 of a second every lap, like in this unbelievable groove.
Mm-hmm.
But if they lose that groove, when they're in that groove, it seems so easy. Just do it. It's like no hassle. But if they lose that groove, if they go a little too fast, then they slide out of a corner, they lose time. If they go a little too slow, then that's not effective. And the margins are so small to stay on that groove. And for players as well, when you go into something like the French Open or any tournament, but especially the big ones, you hope that you can get through that first match and find a groove. And if you get in that groove, then that gives you your best chances of winning, because then most stuff is happening automatically, which is the most effective. Everybody has a problem when they start to think on the court, and automatic is fastest and easiest because you know how to do things. And it's not like you don't register. I say when you're playing very well, you are aware of everything, but nothing distracts you. When you start to think, your thoughts start to distract you. And that's very difficult to manage. And if you can learn how to manage that and get yourself back in the groove a little faster than other players, that's obviously you know, helps with ranking and why certain players, you know, are more consistent than others, because they tend to manage that better. I hope that makes sense anyway.
It does. It definitely does. There are with the mental side of tennis, from my perspective as a fan, if you like, the two things that strike me in tennis compared to lots of other sports that I think make it a big mental challenge is, first of all, it's an individual sport, but secondly, so there's nowhere to hide. Like in football, in a team sport, you can just give the ball to another teammate and you cannot call for it, if you like, but there's nowhere to hide. The other thing as well in tennis is again, in something like football, you can be really nervous, but you can get a bit lucky. And of course, that can be the case in tennis. But basically, your body could be shaking when you're about to take a penalty, okay? And you can still score because you can just put your foot through it, right? You just hit it as hard as you can. And actually, probably you will still score because of the odds on that.
Yeah.
But there's that in a sport such as darts, snooker, tennis, where you need to be pretty calm and you need to have a pretty steady hand. There's just nowhere to hide. Is there anything I'm missing, or am I underplaying something, or even overplaying?
No. I think you're 100% correct. I think the real tough thing about these sports and tennis in particular, because of how physical it is as well, is the relentlessness of point after point. And if you're nervous, you have to fight through those nerves sometimes for an hour. And they might disappear for a while, but then suddenly, you're 5-all and it's tight again, and you're feeling very tight, and you have to manage it over and over again. And I think the best players in the world just use their tools and remember to use their tools in big moments. Because once you get to pro level, it's not like any player doesn't kind of know what they have to do, but it's in the heat of that moment that they either don't remember because the brain is frying a little bit, or they don't have the courage to use them. Yeah. So for us sitting there, I remember when Roger Federer had 2 match points against Novak at Wimbledon serving.
Yeah.
You're thinking serve and volley both.
Okay.
Yeah, probably Novak's not going to make a great return on both.
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't know whether what Roger was thinking, or maybe knew something more than I did, but that was my thinking. But he didn't, and they slipped through his hands. Now to do that though in that moment takes a huge amount of courage.
Yeah. And
first to make the decision, and then secondly to follow through the decision like that. But then you've always got, and this is what's so tough for players, the other thing is, match point, make the person play. Don't serve and give them a quick volley or whatever. And that's another school of thought. But I think deep down, players get to a place where they have an instinct. And I think, I say this over and over again, the best players in the world are the most relaxed and the bravest. Because in those moments, when their instinct is telling them something, they are brave enough to follow it. And which is why, and again, it doesn't guarantee you're going to win, but I do think it starts to push the odds more in your favor. I'll just say one other thing is, I don't know if anybody's ever been go-karting or any kind of motor racing or watches motor racing,
mm-hmm.
but when a driver gets in the groove, they lap like within 0.1 of a second every lap, like in this unbelievable groove.
Mm-hmm.
But if they lose that groove, when they're in that groove, it seems so easy. Just do it. It's like no hassle. But if they lose that groove, if they go a little too fast, then they slide out of a corner, they lose time. If they go a little too slow, then that's not effective. And the margins are so small to stay on that groove. And for players as well, when you go into something like the French Open or any tournament, but especially the big ones, you hope that you can get through that first match and find a groove. And if you get in that groove, then that gives you your best chances of winning, because then most stuff is happening automatically, which is the most effective. Everybody has a problem when they start to think on the court, and automatic is fastest and easiest because you know how to do things. And it's not like you don't register. I say when you're playing very well, you are aware of everything, but nothing distracts you. When you start to think, your thoughts start to distract you. And that's very difficult to manage. And if you can learn how to manage that and get yourself back in the groove a little faster than other players, that's obviously, helps with ranking and why certain players, are more consistent than others, because they tend to manage that better. I hope that makes sense anyway.
It does. It definitely does. With the mental side of tennis, from my perspective as a fan, if you like, the two things that strike me in tennis compared to lots of other sports that I think make it a big mental challenge is, first of all, it's an individual sport, but secondly, so there's nowhere to hide. Like in football, in a team sport, you can just give the ball to another teammate and you cannot call for it, if you like, but there's nowhere to hide. The other thing as well in tennis is again, in something like football, you can be really nervous, but you can get a bit lucky. And of course, that can be the case in tennis. But basically, your body could be shaking when you're about to take a penalty, okay? And you can still score because you can just put your foot through it, right? You just hit it as hard as you can. And actually, probably you will still score because of the odds on that.
Yeah.
But there's that in a sport such as darts, snooker, tennis, where you need to be pretty calm and you need to have a pretty steady hand. There's just nowhere to hide. Is there anything I'm missing, or am I underplaying something, or even overplaying?
No. I think you're 100% correct. I think the real tough thing about these sports and tennis in particular, because of how physical it is as well, is the relentlessness of point after point. And if you're nervous, you have to fight through those nerves sometimes for an hour. And they might disappear for a while, but then suddenly, you're 5-all and it's tight again, and you're feeling very tight, and you have to manage it over and over again. And I think the best players in the world just use their tools and remember to use their tools in big moments. Because once you get to pro level, it's not like any player doesn't kind of know what they have to do, but it's in the heat of that moment that they either don't remember because the brain is frying a little bit, or they don't have the courage to use them. Yeah. So for us sitting there, I remember when Roger Federer had 2 match points against Novak at Wimbledon serving.
Yeah.
You're thinking serve and volley both.
Okay.
Yeah, probably Novak's not going to make a great return on both.
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't know what whether that what Roger was thinking, or maybe knew something more than that I did, but that was my thinking. But he didn't, and they slipped through his hands. Now to do that though in that moment takes a huge amount of courage.
Yeah. And
first to make the decision, and then secondly to follow through the decision like that. But then you've always got, and this is what's so tough for players, the other thing is, match point, make the person play. Don't serve and give them a quick volley or whatever. And that's another school of thought. But I think deep down, players get to a place where they have an instinct. And I think, I say this over and over again, the best players in the world are the most relaxed and the bravest, because in those moments when their instinct is telling them something, they are brave enough to follow it. And which is why, and again, it doesn't guarantee you're going to win, but I do think it starts to push the odds more in your favor. I'll just say one other thing is, I don't know if anybody's ever been go-karting or any kind of motor racing or watches motor racing, but when a driver gets in the groove, they lap like within 0.1 of a second every lap, like in this unbelievable groove. But if they lose that groove, when they're in that groove, it seems so easy. Just do it, right? No hassle. But if they lose that groove, if they go a little too fast, then they slide out of a corner, they lose time. If they go a little too slow, then that's not effective. And the margins are so small to stay on that groove. And for players as well, when you go into something like the French Open or any tournament, but especially the big ones, you hope that you can get through that first match and find a groove. And if you get in that groove, then that gives you your best chances of winning, because then most stuff is happening automatically, which is the most effective. Everybody has a problem when they start to think on it.
John, I won't let her go cool down, but we can do a couple.
Yeah, right now?
Okay, sure.
Okay, great.
You got it all inside of you.
Yeah, should work fine. Can I have 10 seconds or 20 seconds?
Okay.
I didn't know, sorry.
All right.
That's fine. He just wants to. Yeah, yeah, no, that's fine. You can just time and then
Feel it to be true. And when you dance out.
Yeah, sure.
Is it okay to stand here, or you'd rather sit down there?
where do you want me?
Standing here?
Here?
Is okay?
Okay, yep.
I don't want to, make you stand up for too long. Okay, let me just check the camera's on. Yes, it is.
What a return! Leila Fernandez. Take him out. Match point, ladies and gentlemen. Championship Billie Jean King Cup point. Get her in somehow. What a tackle. What defense? Wow! Wow! Look at this!
I was probably a little bit bamboozled with with everything. Sorry.
And Billie Jean King Cup 2023, that's a wrap.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.